Hi, it's Sanjay on Software, and today I would like to talk to you about the rule of 80 characters per line of code, which is a very controversial thing to talk about. And immediately when I say it, people are on their defense mode, like either in defending that or attacking this rule. I think that being very strict about this rule is not like the right approach here. But overall, I like the idea of thinking that we can have some guidelines, have some rules, which can help us deciding whether a code is readable, whether it's clean, whether it's elegant. I know those are all very subjective things, and I'm not here to find out or enforce my rules here. But I think we probably all agree that in some definitions of clean code, it's better to have cleaner, nicer code, more elegant codes than not. That's clear, and that's the most important part. I write code in Ruby, and I find Ruby super elegant. I find Ruby to be very readable, and that the reason I switched to Ruby from Java, 10 years ago, I think, or maybe 12 years ago. 13 years ago, actually, was that reading the code was more of the pleasure, while it came at a cost of not having the nice refactorings from the IDE because there are no static typing, it's not statically typed language. But reading the code is super cool if someone cares about making the code nice. And in Ruby, you have really great opportunities here. And the idea of 80 characters per line, I find it like 80 can fit for Ruby. Maybe for Java it could be, 100. And it's not about the hard-coded limit. It's about whether your code is expressive and declarative and easy to read. For example, if I break the rule of 80 characters, it's usually not in the public methods, but in the private methods. So this is the place where I don't find the code equal. I try to write the code everywhere as best as I can, but if I have to sacrifice the quality somewhere, then it's better to do it in the private methods. And the reason is that I find the public methods to be like the high level language, a high level description of what a method does, what the class is responsible for. And this is where I also care about the rule of the code being elegant. And if the line is longer than 80 characters, it doesn't necessarily mean the code is bad. It just means that maybe, just maybe, you can have some simplifications here. Maybe you don't need to have a local variable, but turn the local variable into a method. That's one technique here. Maybe you don't need to have so many embeds for if statements, and you can apply another refactoring technique which turns the if statements into some guard methods, for example. So there are several techniques which can help you, but they can only help you if you actually see this as a problem that your code is bad. And 80 characters limit, I see it only as a guideline to show me that maybe there is something wrong with the code. It's not the only guideline, and there is more like that. I will probably talk about them in some other episodes. But I actually do like this rule to think, okay, maybe I did something wrong here. And overall, I'm not also, just to be clear, a fan of having too short method names. I'm actually a fan of long method names. I'm a fan of very explicit variable naming. So this is not like I want to limit those to have 80 characters. Usually when you cross the 80 characters limit, it's usually because, not because of the naming thing. It's usually because you have this code structure which could be done differently. Sometimes there is no way of making the line shorter because that's the way it should be. And that's okay. We break this rule. That's an exception. That's fine. But I just see this as a nice, as with every code smell, it can guide me to something, but doesn't have to. And whenever I write my code, I try to limit to 80 characters. I try to, in my IDE, I actually do have this line showing me where's the 80 characters limit, just to remind me that I should care about the people who will read my code after me and who want to understand the bigger picture of this code. So that's my justification and explanation why I care about this, but I'm not trying to enforce it to other people. Thanks for listening.